Speed. Roll camera.
Speeding.
Slate.
Scene 1, take 1. Mark.
And action.
Welcome back. It's time for another end of the day wrap up on the one show that takes a look at all the stuff happening in the crazy world of Steve Cederquist's life. That's a wrap.
I thought this was a singing program. You're not going to have me do some singing this
Could be. You've always amazed me. You're
Linda,
doing all these crazy
you told me
things.
we were going to do some karaoke.
We are. It's American
Conrad,
Idol.
you told me you were going to do some... Well, you guys all lied to me. What's up?
American Idol on radio.
So welcome back, Steve Cederquist, famous contractor from Flip or Flop. Who'd you pack in today into the house?
I have no idea. I just found some people. I just found some people on the street here, and I brought them in. No, I've got Linda, Conrad, and Christina with us today. Christina's back. She is going to be helping me out and narrating and co-hosting with me and all that. So we're going to pick up where we left off. Remember, Linda had an amazing story.
Oh, she was talking about being with like a gigolo or something.
Gigolo. I know,
thing.
right? We had to cut off on the gigolo.
I think that's the first year we've talked about gigolos on ever in 5 years on this show here.
Yeah. But I just got back from Reno. I was in Reno looking at some property. I had been in Vegas the week before. I went up there. I had some friends that were involved in shooting.
What's it like up there? I mean, is it just seems like everybody'd be scared, and or is Vegas is resilient, so I think it would come back, or are they all still mourning and scared and wondering what the hell happened? And what's the feeling? What's the vibe up in Vegas?
It's Vegas strong. I mean, everybody's strong who's there, and everybody's good. But I had 4 friends that were there. I had 2 that were up at the front, were pretty much where the main shooting was happening.
They were there.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, the people behind them, the lady, it was a woman and daughter, and the mom got shot in the neck, and she passed. God. And it was really a sad thing. And she's
you know somebody that died in this tragedy?
No, I don't know them. I don't know the lady. I just know my friends that were there, and they were dancing with these people, and it was the lady's birthday and all that. But it's very crazy. And then you hear about the more of the stories of what the guy was trying to do. He was using these incendiary bullets that were like explode on contact.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was trying to blow up that just revelation came out yesterday. He was trying to blow up the fuel tanks on the runway. If he succeeded, it would have killed everybody and probably knocked out the hotel as well. And
has anybody come up with? I know this is only a week or two. You may be listening to some podcast later, but this is still only a couple of weeks after the tragedy here. Why? You know what? I think he just wacko or
there's no all of us here have rational minds. Except maybe Christina, but no, I'm just kidding. No, we all do it. No, seriously, and I joke about it a little bit because it keeps me from being sad about it. I feel bad, but you can't rationalize with it. I talked to a detective. He's a good friend of mine out there. He's a trauma cop, and he was actually on scene and called me, and I heard the bullets in the background, and he was like going, "Dude, I'm here, and there's shooting," and he's just like, "Oh my God," and I heard the revelations yesterday about people were like complaining like, "Oh, it took 6 minutes to get to the room."
Oh, yeah.
Well, when a smoke detector goes off in a hotel, the elevators stop immediately. What happens is they go to the next empty floor. I mean, like if they're traveling up, whatever, they stop at the floor, open the doors, everybody gets out. They don't they don't continue to travel. So these cops, and I give them all the credit in the world. These 4 cops had never worked together. There was one SWAT guy, one street guy, and and just a kind of a hodgepodge of guys, but they made it up 32 flights of stairs in less than 6 minutes, and they made entry. That's pretty damn good.
That is.
So I give them command. I really want to give props.
And they had to get there too. I mean, it's not like they were all just standing around or something. Maybe some of them were.
Exactly. They all got there. I got to commend them and all the first responders. It's good. I actually walked part of the field. I think Thursday before I left, 4 days after it happened, very briefly with my detective friend. I'm probably not supposed to say it on the air. He got me on there, and it was just so surreal to see everything, just what had happened. But
how many bullets did this guy fire? Because he was using this bump stock that made it seem like almost up to an automatic speed here, and he fired for literally 6 or 7 or 8 minutes.
850 rounds per minute.
And so 800 times 6, 8 minutes, he's fired thousands of bullets.
Thousands of rounds. And you know what? I mean, looking at that, and Con, you agree with me, I'm sure you guys all do, there could have been so much more casualties. I mean,
1,000 people.
It doesn't do any solace to the people who lost their lives, but the people who didn't, like my friends, they're so blessed, and you know, they're obviously, you know, doing therapy and, you know, and everything now because of what, you know, she split. He was there witnessing and picking up.
And I shouldn't go there, but I will. I have to. I guess I'm more of a liberal kind of guy anyway. But I don't know why anybody has to. I get why people want to own a gun, safety or hunting or whatever. Own a handgun, own a shotgun, own a deer rifle. There's no reason to own one of these kinds of weapons that fires that fast, that far, that kind of those kinds of rounds and ammunition. I just don't get why anybody thinks that's a good thing. You don't own a bazooka. You don't own a 50 caliber machine gun. Why does anybody think they have to own this kind of hardware?
I don't get it. I don't. I'm a Second Amendment guy. I believe in the right to bear arms. Don't get me wrong. But I think it.
There's limits to every right. Yeah.
I think there's limits. Yeah. I mean, I think better checks, better, you know, psychological background checks. And, you know, my thinking was, you know, psychological background checks. What do you think, you know, about, you know, for people that even have guns or, you know, not? I don't know. Maybe you guys don't think.
I'm a huge NRA fan myself, and I just think that the guy passed all the background checks. He did. So this was just kind of a fluke thing.
But do you think, I mean, and I'm glad you are, because I really wanted to have that kind of conversation. I'm not against people owning guns. Go own a gun. I get it. I got all the reasons why you do it.
Yeah.
But a gun is a handgun, a shotgun, or a hunting rifle. It doesn't have to be an assault rifle that can fire that much.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a.
You wouldn't stop the killing, but you'd certainly limit the number of people that would be killed in these types.
Well, the problem is the laws. Is that he already broke 35 laws doing what he did. So it's not like there's a new law that would have prevented him from doing that.
No. But
he probably would have just blown something up instead of shooting.
But if we could make it, every one of these guys uses a weapon like this, and they all kill mass numbers of people. And I keep thinking, I'm not saying you can't get them without it. There's always bad guys who can get bad things. But fewer of them would get these weapons if they weren't sold at Walmart. Come on.
Yeah. Well,
you know, just
it's going to be up for discussion. You know, I mean, there's going to be a lot of debate on it, and we'll see if there. And I definitely, this is not the platform to go into gun control. But you know, my feeling is just I wanted to, you know, take this platform to say I really wanted to give kudos to the first responders.
Absolutely.
I want to give my hopes and prayers out to the survivors. And to the families that lost people. I just, you know, we give you our love, you know, and
amen.
We just go from there, and we'll let the politicians fight it out about.
Will anybody not in this room or anybody you know not go to an event? Will you think twice about going to the next football game, the next open air concert?
No, I'll go.
You just need to be
I'll go.
Yeah, you want to be aware of your surroundings no matter where you are.
I'm going to wear a Kevlar vest and helmet.
Not going to stop me.
The lawyer usually doesn't go.
The lawyer doesn't go.
No.
So you would not think you would hold back and say I'm not going to go to these
yeah,
things?
I usually don't go to concerts. And I'm actually very aware when I'm entering onto a plane. And I traveled a lot to go to all the law schools. And I've turned somebody in before to the FBI.
Really?
Yeah. It looked like a complete dry run or something was going to happen. And it was very scary. It happened in Texas, I think in Dallas.
Do you think we can spot this? This is my wife's argument all the time. She watches
watches
every Criminal and Mind show, and she's, I'm going to catch these guys when I see them. You can't
you know
spot
what
one
happened
of these guys.
I was traveling alone. That's the benefit of being a sole traveler, is that you're hyper aware, and I'm just hyper aware anyways, I think. But there were so many people just piling into the line to get through security at that airport. And I saw him come right in. He cut right in, no luggage.
Well, that's a bad sign.
And a lot of other things. I mean, I collected all these things all at once, and I'm thinking, if it's anything, if you see something, it's gonna look like this. And so I backed out of the line.
Wow.
And I backed out like 5 times, and I thought, do I lose my flight? Life is more important. Backed out. They questioned me, are you okay? And I said, there's something going on over there. And they said, yeah, we're watching him. And I said, yeah, but you're going to watch him blow us up? Is that what you're going to do?
Wow. We're watching.
And there's parents walking in, children walking in. No one's paying attention to this guy. He's looking at me now, angry that I'm scoping him out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's ticked.
Yeah, they watch it though. They got cameras everywhere. Like
they watch it, but they don't do anything.
Well, you say that, but last night I got booked. I lost my flight. I'm booking back, and I stepped over a line on accident because they were calling my name, and I didn't hear them. I had my headphones on, and they're like, "Oh," they're all getting all mad at me. I'm like, "Why are you so aggro?" And I stepped over a line. They're like, "You could be arrested for that." I'm like, "Oh,
please
take me home." You know, I was just like all stressed. I was like, "Gosh, just take me home." But no, I think you're right. Just being vigilant. I think wherever you go, I mean, it's not going to stop me from going anywhere. I mean, I like concerts. You know, we planned on going to Route 91, and we just didn't go because my daughter just couldn't get off work. But I don't know. It's not going to stop me at all. I mean, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate.
And is anybody going to be held? No, they're going to start lawsuits and stuff here. They're already talking about the hotel should have caught that this guy came in with 12 bags of something. But I don't know. Is that a reasonable standard?
I believe that they know all that. They're just not divulging it to the public.
Yeah, I think they know. There was also, there was. I think that a lot's going to come out. I mean, a lot's going to come out with this. I don't. The investigation's not even close to being even. I mean, it's not even.
Go
I mean,
on
they're
a
just. It's going crazy, and they're dissecting this thing by piece, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle that's been wet. And they've got all these pieces and they're all warped, and they're trying to figure it out. And that's the good way of analogy they put it to me. And so anyway, but hey, let's get on to a better subject.
Yeah,
let's get on to I've got Linda here, and I really want to know more about. So, are we done with the gigolo conversation?
Yeah, we're done.
I was done the minute you started. I
Christina
couldn't
didn't
believe
hear it though. I mean, yeah, okay. So
How to recognize a gigolo.
Yeah.
We covered that.
how to recognize a gigolo. So where did we leave off? Because I really want to pick up where we left off.
So.
Can we get him in here? Can you call him up? Can we get the gigolo in here?
Well, you have to pay him. You got to pay his airfare. And he wants to fly first class, and
I think we'll do a phone call with
he
him
wants
instead.
to stay at the Ritz, and so.
Oh, nice.
Or your house, Paul.
I'd let him stay because I'd want to meet a gigolo. I
Nice.
I really would like to meet a
Okay,
gigolo.
but you'd have to pay for everything.
Well,
just
I
like-
don't
There
know
you
about
go.
that. Yeah.
That's the trick to meeting gigolos.
Is it?
Yeah.
You just got to pay. That's why I'm too cheap.
No, so this subject I'd like to talk about is so what I do is I help people solve their problems, and I get a lot of people contacting me all the time about this one particular issue, and I think it's good to bring it up because it's such a bad stigma going on. In
Everybody's
online
making
dating.
a face. What are you going to talk about here?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it? Come on, keep us in suspense.
Sure. This is when a guy or girl sends an inappropriate picture.
You mean a penis picture?
Yeah.
I'm just
Come
being
on.
honest.
Did he say that? Oh
When
my
I
God.
Mr.
did.
Johnson
I have
makes an
never
appearance.
received one.
Okay,
You
well,
haven't?
listen in, girl.
No.
Listen in. I'll
You're in
tell
an
you.
exclusive
left out
club.
here.
Do you want to give out your email address and people can do it right now? They can
No.
send you one right now or
No.
something?
I just got one the other day.
Oh,
I have
you're kidding me. Come on.
I have a fresh
Show
one.
it to him.
2 of them.
Have you
Yeah,
got one?
share it with the group.
Let's see it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were with him.
He's my producer. Connor's
Oh,
my producer.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sending her these
She thought you
pictures,
were
by the
with
way.
him, though. You know,
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, we're together a lot.
She's like, here are the photos I'm receiving, and I'm
Yeah.
going to release them out to you.
I just sent them to her mom.
He's my producer. Here you go, Steve. For your viewing
Oh,
pleasure.
no.
Oh, nice.
Let me see.
Is this a guy you're dating?
No, this is somebody I didn't even know. I got it on Facebook Messenger.
It is impressive.
Wow.
Well, you know what?
Wait,
that's,
let me see the top photo.
It is impressive, I have
That's
to
funny,
say.
Steve.
He
Paul, that you would
wanted
say
to
that.
share.
That's funny
Paul-
that you would say that, Paul, because
Paul, what's really going on here?
He could be a gigolo,
Could
Paul.
be.
no, Paul. That's interesting that you say that because
You know, guys like to compare. We always like to compare.
Exactly.
Do you really?
Sure.
Sure, they do. And
in the
this-
locker rooms, we pull it out and everybody compares. And
No
Not
way.
in the studio, so
No, not in the studio. But
But see,
didn't you ever
Paul,
do that when you were a kid? You know, say, "Ah, man."
No,
Wait,
if
you
you s-
compare? What if you're the
When I was
odd
young,
man out?
every guy
My friend
wants to
sent me one-
pretend
My
he's.
friend sent me one today.
Oh, look at that one. That's a
My,
good
my
one.
friend sent me one the other day. He was like,
Wow.
he's like, I miss you. And I'm like, wow, you really do miss me. So,
Do you want this back?
Sure, thank
No,
you.
yeah,
Are you sure you
that's,
don't want to keep it?
No, she's shocked. Don't you think, guys, the locker room time, if you don't physically look at you, pretend and you brag like, you know, I'm well built and you're not, right?
Okay, so that's a good subject. That's a good topic.
Okay.
The men don't mind it because the men do it because they are in love with their penises.
She
Okay.
almost said the Richard
well,
word.
isn't it true? Well, wait a minute, though. But wait a minute, though. It's true that most men think with their. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not trying to throw us under the bus, buddy.
No, it's
Come
so
on.
true.
There's no room under the
we
bus.
think with the wrong head. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, it's human need. Oh, it's male nature, right?
Male
Right.
nature, yes.
So-
Come on, dude, you're not backing me up here. Come on, I need some help.
true.
No, I can't argue with
No.
any. This is obvious
That is
almost,
so
right?
true. However, see, men will send a woman that picture because they think that they're thinking like men. They're not thinking like a woman.
Oh.
So they're thinking, oh, I love this. I'm going to send it.
This is impressive.
and
She'll
I'm
be
gonna-
impressed.
I'm going right. In other words, this is the number one reason why they do it is because of rejection. Okay, and let's listen to me. So men hate to be rejected. So what they do is they're insecure. They send you that picture. If a woman says, "Oh, that's cool," or "I like that," instantly they don't have to worry about anything because the rejection part is gone. They're not rejected. They pass that big hurdle, and it basically is a lazy way into a relationship.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me to throw this out, and you guys can answer it. Is it more of like what type of forum that is besides? I mean, I couldn't imagine someone being on Match.com. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay. Okay. eHarmony.
eHarmony, the more
eHarmony,
religious
no,
one.
They monitor.
They monitor the pictures there. It won't happen on eHarmony.
So,
but this is how it happens, Steve. Is it could happen on Facebook. It could happen on a dating site. And what happens to me is if I'm on a dating site, I get a sweet talker guy. So nice. You'll love my family. This is what this guy told me. You'll love my
This guy
family.
told you this?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Potato Head?
Can we put him on? Can we put him on Front Street right now?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Let's
Is he
call
like,
him up.
listen, Bob Jones.
Yeah. Let's
What
blast
is
him
really
out.
going
You'll
on here?
love my family and every bit
Oh
of
yeah,
me.
yeah. You
Every
saw.
part
He
of
said,
me,
"Look
yeah.
at my profile." So I did, and his name is Blake Johnson.
Oh, yikes. Blake, send
I
her
think
all the
that's a
messages.
pseudonym.
Yes.
Yes, and he sent it through a messenger on
His
Facebook.
name is Mr. Big.
Yeah, and he said, you saw him. Look at my profile. You'll see I have a great family. I love my family, and he's sweet talking me all the way down, and then he asked about what size are my breasts.
What?
And I said, why would you ask a lady that? And he said, I'm just curious. I said, thinking to myself, okay, I'm just going to go with it because I'm going to write about this. And
Use it for her article.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and then the next thing I get is those pictures.
Did you play into it though? Did you send him Did you go like, oh, dude, I'm 38, or whatever?
No,
I mean,
no. You know what I said to him?
What?
I said, yeah, that's okay, but that's not really a dick with a future. I said, show me a dick with a future, and then we'll talk. And then I blocked him.
That's like the old joke,
Wow.
maybe this is a terrible joke, but this is one of my prepubescent jokes, and the girl, the guy does this, pulls it out or something. She says, oh, that's cute, that's a peepee. And he says, no, that's not, that's a dick. She said, I've seen lots of dicks, that's a peepee. I'm sorry.
However, my research has been that when you play into it in any way, whether it be negative or positive, that's what they love. They want
Really?
to see the attraction. They want to see your reaction. Okay, so
Is it shock, like when they say that's the flashers?
Like
they
the
want,
flasher
they
thing.
want
you
to
got, well,
shock,
you're going to get. I think you're going to get exactly. I mean, just personally, I've never done this. Never have. I'm not that way.
Come on, Steve.
No, I really haven't. I would trust me. I would be upfront. I would be transparent. I just don't think there's a need for that. I mean, it's just like.
But have you
gotta
ever
leave some things
received one?
A dick pic?
No. Have you ever received a picture from a lady that was provocative, way too over the line?
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
what do you do with those?
I don't know. You kind of look at it like, well, this is definitely something you don't want to bring home to meet mom.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's more of like, you don't, when you're, I mean, but you got to understand, I personally would think that there's people out there looking for that. They are. I mean, it's like, more of a Craigslist kind of a thing. They're looking for like a quick fix.
Like they specifically.
Casual encounter
men
kind of a
and-
thing.
Men and women?
Well, yeah, that's what they have a thing for in Craigslist called casual encounter, and people
Yeah.
they put pictures out there.
What's
but
the
I
other
think
one?
that's more
Tinder?
of a
Isn't
form.
that sort of the hookup site
But
or something?
but I'm saying
You
that's
know what?
more
I
of something.
used Tinder for actual dates.
Oh, come on.
I did.
That's the one that's supposed to be like, you just are...
Yeah,
Hook up.
Yeah,
want
but
it
then
now.
you could say you use Facebook to keep in touch with your friends, and other people are like, I use Facebook for advertising. So I use Tinder for actual dates.
And you told us the last time, if I'm not mistaken, how picky you are and how selective you are. And you went
Well,
on
I
Tinder?
tried to give more people a chance, I guess,
You're
because I
just
knew that I was picky.
You're
so I
just
was like,
democratic. I see. Okay.
yeah.
Well,
So-
the big question, this raises the big question of who's sending these, who's receiving them,
Right.
and why are they doing it, et cetera. And this
Yes.
is where
Right.
Linda and I did kind of a deep dive into this because there's a lot to this. And people say, I don't
Okay.
send them. And I was at a dinner party, and there were 6 people there, 3 men, 3 women, and I brought this subject up, and everybody, the women were horrified, and I asked the same question that Linda did, which is, have you ever received one? And they all said, well, yeah, I have. And I go,
my
well,
God,
what did you
really?
do with it? She goes, well, I kept it and I shared it with all my friends. So
As
clearly,
a joke or as a...
Yeah,
As a joke. That's exactly
hard
what
to
I
say,
did.
yeah.
This is exactly what I did when I got it. I sent it to my friends.
Yeah, but clearly people are getting responses, whether it's the exhibitionist thing,
Right.
or whether this is just the way they meet women. There's a lot of guys who might go to a bar and ask 10 women for their phone number, and they get one, and they're happy. Well, clearly some
how do you
women are
explain,
responding to this.
Congressman Anthony Weiner? I mean, I know that's...
same
I
thing.
don't want to make fun of his name again here, but honest to God, this guy's a powerful, up-and-coming United States congressman. He can't stop himself from doing this.
Well, because he says he has a problem.
Yeah.
And a lot of these men
Yeah.
do, but think about it. There's lots of legalities to this. If this guy sent that to me, how do I know he's not sending it to a 16-year-old girl
Yeah,
on
that's
Facebook?
right. Well, that's what Anthony
Well, he
Weiner was
probably
convicted
is.
of.
Right,
That's
so
the thing.
that's-
I mean, he's
that's-
probably doing it. I mean, I was watching a show the other night. I was horrified. I was watching. It was like one of those shows, like kind of like What Would You Do, or like a cops kind of a thing. And they were busting all these guys, and they were either set them up.
Like To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, catch a predator,
yes.
and you'd be
Fascinating.
surprised.
That's every guy's worst
And like
nightmare,
it's weird
right?
because they
Right.
caught this one guy who was an actual cop.
Not me. That's not my list.
And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. I mean, it's like these guys. Like, what would you find? I mean, I'm not saying I put these guys in the same category, sending penis pics, but I think like, what do you? I mean, like, I don't get it. You said you've done research on
I
it.
did the same thing.
Tell me what it is, because I would never in a million years think that would be a good idea. I mean, I can't just sit there and go, that's a
She
good,
might like that,
That's a
yeah.
good, that's a good effing idea. I think I'm just going to send her a penis pic.
she
Why
might
would I
like
do
that.
that? I mean, it's like, that is so wrong on so many levels.
Well, there was a famous guy. I believe there was a name for him. I can't remember. What he did was he would, on the streets, he had a trench coat. He would flash women, and he'd take a picture of their reactions, and then he would go home and have fun with it. And that was his turn on. That's what turned him on.
Can I give you another
Or just
story?
sheer entertainment.
What about this new guy? What about this guy,
This guy.
Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein.
Last night on
Okay.
CNN, a new accuser came. I had to flick it on, and I couldn't help but watch it. I couldn't believe I was watching, and she was describing in detail what happened. She met him at a party, a fancy party at a fancy restaurant in New York, and he asked her to go. He said, "I own the part of the restaurant. Let's go look at the back end of the kitchen." And as soon as he got there, first he tried to kiss her, and she said no. And then he said, "All right, just shut up and sit there." And she's like, "What?" She said, "Shut up." And then he pulled out his thing and started masturbating in front of her. And then
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen.
That's gross. What
And-
restaurant
and
is
then-
this? I'm never eating there again.
And then she said, "I was so stunned I didn't know what to do." She said, "It didn't take long." And then he said, "Fine, let's go back upstairs." And then he called her and said, "I had a wonderful time." And she's like, "What? And in what universe do you think you're going to just tell a girl to shut up and I'm going to do this in a restaurant?"
Okay, so I got to ask you guys. Conrad's got a big pad here, so he's prepared.
I beg your
I don't
pardon. He's
call
got a
it a
big.
pad.
He's got a big
So-
what?
Oh, sorry. You guys aren't seeing this except for you people watching it live. It's a notepad with a pencil. And so tell me. Yeah,
Conrad's got a big pad. Well, if you say so, I'll take your word for it.
sorry. Anyway, no. So tell me what. Okay, so in your research, you guys have found why would a man do
What?
that?
Why?
There's a
How?
lot of reasons, many reasons.
Okay, well, what's up? Come on.
Well, one of them is they're hoping that they'll get a reciprocal picture back from the woman. Second thing is they're not considering how a woman would respond to this at all, because they're thinking, well, the last time I did that was with my girlfriend and she seemed real happy. Well, that's a completely different situation.
Right.
And the studies have shown they differentiate specifically between pictures that are solicited and ones that are not solicited. So if it's an unsolicited or an unwanted picture, that's one thing entirely. And men are just on a different, the guys who are doing this are not considering
women
Can you
their
turn them in?
audience.
I mean, is this something that? I
Yeah.
mean, is there any laws? I mean, like,
Well,
can you,
yes, there
That's
is a
true.
law. If you send it to an underage person, you're a sex offender.
well, how about if you send it to somebody like you? Like,
Okay,
what,
there's
I mean,
no law against that.
there's no law against that.
No.
Or my grandmother or somebody or
That's
somebody really,
horrible.
yeah.
I mean,
It
yeah, to a
is.
child. Yeah, I mean that's horrible. I
It's
mean,
awful.
I bet you there is one.
you know what? Hey, we have an
Send it to
attorney
Counselor?
here.
Okay, maybe she
Counselor.
can look into that.
I'm not the expert on
Yeah.
explicit photos.
Yeah.
This
Maybe you
is
could
one
look
of
it
her
up and
specialties.
see.
Yeah, you know what? That's be a good follow up. Let's do a
Yeah.
follow up on that when we meet
Yeah.
again, because
Is it
Honestly,
abuse?
this is
Especially if
like-
it's unwanted. Is that a form
I would
of
think-
abuse? Is that a form of harassment?
Right?
I
I would
think-
think it would be a law against it.
It's-
Honestly, I think it's very offensive.
It is offensive, and it is
Yeah.
sexual harassment. It is.
Yeah, there you go, sexual harassment.
That's what it is. Exactly.
Yeah, but
what
it's
it
not
is.
in the workplace, so you're gonna have to figure out a way around.
But if it
It
was, let's say it was. So if it was, so let's
Oh.
define the line. So if your friend at work sends it to you after hours, would it be considered a?
Yes.
It would be.
Yes. Sexual
How about
harassment.
you, a lawyer?
If she didn't ask for it, yes. I know all about sexual harassment. I
Your
know all the.
friend at work, and then after hours.
Doesn't
The after
matter.
hours.
Doesn't matter if it's after hours.
So let me ask you another question.
A lot depends on if he's your boss.
Oh yeah,
Well,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
well,
the
Okay.
boss,
Or
yeah,
boss,
just a
yeah.
coworker.
If it's just a
Yeah.
coworker, it's still sexual harassment. If you are not, if it makes you uncomfortable,
But if I go outside and open up my trench coat, that's clearly against law. That's public
Oh, yeah.
indecency.
That's public.
Sure.
Yeah, and you know what?
Why
It-
isn't this public indecency?
You know what? Here's the deal, and something about Let me ask a question about that
Yeah.
because here's the deal. I had a friend who was desperately looking for a bathroom, desperately,
Okay.
and he couldn't find one, so he pulled behind a market, which was close to a school. It wasn't like he was like had his stuff out, but he was going to the bathroom. He had to go. Nobody would let him. He got a ticket, and they also gave him indecent exposure. And since it was at a school, he had a fight on his hands.
Sex
they
offender.
wanted,
Oh,
they
yeah.
wanted to give him Megan's Law, and he's like, "Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I had to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry, there was
Had
nowhere to
too
go."
many beers and I
So
gotta
you're
go.
telling me that somebody can send penis? That's how screwed up our laws are. Because you can send penis pictures. We're all going to send them to Paul tonight. We're going to be Paul's number.
I'll give you all my
Everybody-
email. Yes.
You guys are going to
Only if they're impressive ones like that one.
Yeah.
That was an impressive one.
I wasn't impressed with that one.
You weren't impressed? Well,
No.
I've I've seen so few. I'm easily impressed.
Wow, this is going to a whole new level. I mean,
I'll just stop.
this is going to a
Wasn't
whole new level,
impressive to
He
guys.
me.
needs to go back to church.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Should we take a commercial break and come back and regroup?
Yeah,
here?
let's
do-
regroup. Yeah.
Let's do that. We'll take a quick commercial break and see if we can get control.
And
of
I'll
this.
start singing when we come back.
All right, right after this.
Imagine what it would feel like to lose everything. Your job, your home, your family, your dignity. This has happened to thousands of the men, women, veterans, and young adults we serve at Working Wardrobes. What do we do to help? We provide career development services, life skills workshops, job skills training. We provide the perfect interview outfit, and we get clients placed in jobs. Call Working Wardrobes, 714-210-2460. Donate, volunteer, invest, hire.
When you use the Premier Rewards Gold Card from American Express, the rewards points can keep on multiplying. Buy 3 with triple points on airfare. Buy 2 with double points on gas and groceries. And a single point for pretty much every other dollar you spend on the card. Then, start choosing from over 1 million rewards to redeem all those points. Apply today and the annual fee for the first year is on us. Call 1-800-AXP-GOLD or visit AXPGold.com. The annual fee for the card is $175. See terms, conditions, and restrictions at AXPGold.com.
All right, Steve, save us. Make sense of this.
I am. I'm sitting here with my bad back in one position here, and try not to move. So,
You know what's interesting though, because you came in here really crying and really in pain.
I
You
was.
don't look in pain right now. Somehow this is providing a little,
He's sitting
think it-
erectly.
I think it's,
He's sitting erectly. Oh, okay.
guys, this is.
Wow.
We're gonna change the time.
We got to take another
We're
commercial.
gonna go on midnight hour on this one. We're gonna get Dr. Drew in here. We're gonna have like a full-on penis conversation, guys. Okay, so let me ask you a question. So we got these people sending pictures. So what do we do? I mean, like, talk to me. Like, I mean, you guys obviously are the experts on this. What do we do? What's the ultimate goal here, and what's the fix for it? What do we do?
What do you do? Yeah.
What I do? Well, what the ultimate fix is to just, if you receive one and you don't want it, do not respond back. Just block
Cock block?
Apathy.
right away.
Yeah.
Don't
Apathy.
Because the
don't
opposite of
respond
love
back.
is not hate. It's to ignore
apathy,
somebody, right?
If you ignore these people and everyone just doesn't give them the what they're looking for, the
Attention.
reaction that they want, they'll just move
block it.
on or go on.
Well,
Should
and at
you
the core of this, really what we're talking about, from the context of dating is a tactic. And the real question, whether it's this tactic or other tactics, is how's that working out for you?
Yeah, right. That's
And
my
so
question.
are you attracting your ideal mate? Are you meeting your ideal mate doing these types of things?
Or are you on there just to hook up? You know, are you
That's the
looking
thing.
to
If you're looking to hook, I could see it. If you're there like casual encounter kind of thing, you know, then
Then
yeah,
send dick
then that
pics all day long here, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's something a little bit. I think that you're out there looking for it. You're on that site. You're looking just to hook up.
Your
Okay,
So it's
advertising.
different. Like, dude, show me what you got, or girl, show me what you got, and they do their thing, and then they hook up. That's
Okay,
probably more.
Steve, okay, I'm going to call you on this one.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, please.
Because I asked you if you received them, and you said yes. And I said, well, what do you do? What do you do with them? And you said, well, I'm definitely not taking her home to meet my family. So is that
So then,
somebody?
what are you doing with her?
Right.
Is what
I'm
I
not.
wanna know.
I'm not.
You doing nothing
Come
with
on.
her?
Come on.
You know,
Do you respond back?
here's the deal. I'm being a public figure. I get I do get a lot of weirdness, and I do have a lot of friends. I do have a lot of friends in the gay community, LGBTQ community too, and since I do a lot of events, a lot of people think I'm gay, and I'm not, but they do. So I do get cock
Amazing.
pics, but I'm very. But
Unsolicited, just out of the blue, someone says, "Hey, saw you at an
I'm not a
event."
bad-looking guy, and I think that they think
I
that
wasn't gonna
you know,
go there, but
you know,
yes,
they don't
you're-
see a ring in my hand, and they don't think I'm attached. So I think it's, you know, I'm not just singling out this community, but I'm just saying that it's just part of the deal. And I respond back. Sometimes I respond back, and I just say it's just like I've been approached at the gym. I've had people. Like, I've been in the steam room, and I've had guys
Really?
come
Oh,
up.
my
Oh
goodness.
yeah,
Oh,
and
that happens a lot.
But I
I guess
handle
it's
it.
just because I'm old and ugly. None of this ever happens to
Well,
me.
I handle it professionally. I think I handle it any which way. If I get a picture, or if I get hit on or touched, and if I get touched, it's a little bit more. I get a little
Yeah.
bit more like, dude, what do you? I had one conversation with a guy. I was at 24 Hour Fitness, and this guy came up and kind of grabbed. I was sitting there, you know, my sister.
What did he grab? Come on.
He grabbed my junk, and it was just
You're
like,
kidding me.
No.
Out of
And
the
I'm like,
blue,
no.
some guy?
And I
Isn't
I
that
told him-
assault?
That's what I told him. I said, dude, you know what? What would make you think that's okay? He goes, well, you're a good-looking guy. You're standing there, and I'm like, dude, that doesn't make any difference. That's clearly
I'm
assault.
not
If
asking
you were on the
for it. I'm
street,
not begging
It's
for it.
assault
And
if you saw it coming, but it's definitely a battery.
It is
Right.
a battery.
Oh,
That is a battery.
I did, but
Say that again. It's assault if you saw it coming.
Yeah,
So if-
because you need to apprehend it. It can be both.
Assault
but if you
and
didn't
battery.
if you didn't see it coming, so you can have a battery without an assault if I swing at you right behind your head and you didn't see it coming.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So I handle profession, and I write people back and just say, you know what? Here's the deal. It's inappropriate. I'm not interested. And then I block them. I do the same thing you do. I do that. I want a response from them. I tell them up front, I'm not looking for a response, but here's my response to you. Inappropriate, not appreciated. Peace out. You know what I mean? And I'm careful. I don't want, you know, I don't want to make people mad or whatever, and I don't want to fight somebody. I mean, I've seen people at the gym fight people that do that, and I'm just more like, dude, why? And like the guy that touched me, and I just said, why would you think that's a good idea? And
Yeah.
why would you think that's okay?
And why would you think I'd respond? Even
Well,
if you thought
He goes, well, people hook up here, and I just like, excuse me. I go, well, I don't, dude. I mean, that's not. I mean, maybe
but that's
you should
the key
ask.
question he was asking. Do people really hook up this way? Is
Yes.
this really the new way?
Yes.
I touch you and you go, hey, that's pretty good. Or I send you a dick pic and you go, hey, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Clearly, it's easy for the hoary people to meet each other because they're employing these tactics. But
Yeah.
it's not working for the people that want a little bit more depth and are looking for a more meaningful
I can't even
It
relationship.
doesn't matter what
anybody.
sites you're on, though. I mean, because like, okay,
Yes.
like if you're on, so that's what I'm saying. Like if you're on Craigslist, and that's kind of the forum there, right? Wouldn't you think?
Yes,
Okay, but if
absolutely.
you're like on a legitimate site, like you said, Tinder, and you're meeting guys on Tinder, right, Christine? You're making
Yeah, but I swiped really well, I think.
That's the key.
Okay.
It's all in the wrist.
Screen them. You have to
Okay.
screen them.
Come on.
You have
all
to
in the
screen.
wrist.
You
I
screen them.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm not gonna give my son up right now on Tinder, but you know, I've seen him swipe and do all these things
You
too. I'm like,
have,
what are you
really?
doing? And I didn't know what they were doing because he was like, oh, I
Some
don't
people
like her.
find it just to be a fun way to pass time, like it's a game. It
I
says
guess,
keep
yeah.
playing.
Well, what is
Yeah.
good
Right.
swiping,
So
by
is
the
that-
way?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is good
But
swiping?
Christina,
I want to know more
is
about
that
this.
Yeah, let's hear your
Okay.
technique.
What is good swiping?
So,
Teach us.
so I look to see what they're doing in the photos. What do they look like? Do they seem to have some clean cut friends in the photos? Are they partying? Are they tatted up? Do they look
What's that have to do with any of it, though?
Well, it
So
has
you
a lot
still
to
don't know if you're
do.
going to get an obscene picture.
You remember
just
that
'cause
guy?
he's
What
got
about the Night?
tattoos
What
or
a night?
something.
Not the Night Stalker. Who was that guy? That was a
Right.
really good-looking guy that was like the
But
mass
you
killer.
question my ability
yeah,
to even find
Bundy.
quality people
Bundy.
on
Right.
Tinder.
So that's where I was asking you,
I
Christina.
had some of the best dates on Tinder.
There
You're
you go.
kidding,
Tinder,
really?
Tinder's
Sushi dates
actually-
with lawyers and yeah.
But what I thought Tinder's just about, hey,
No, I'll
I'm
tell you why Tinder
5
works.
minutes away and I'm
No.
desperate.
No,
No,
it's,
no, no.
I'm 5 minutes away. We can grab dinner.
Yeah,
And-
Tinder isn't a hookup site necessarily. No, plenty of fish.
Plenty of fishes?
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
I never
That's
even
funny
heard of
because
that
I had
one.
I had a friend of mine who I'm not going to give his name up, but a good friend of mine who was he would
We'll
tell
put it
me
in
that
the show
he would
notes.
meet girls on Plenty of Fish, and I thought, wasn't that like a Christian site?
No.
I would think, yeah.
I thought it was like,
sounded like it, but no, it's not.
oh, because I thought
It's
it
a-
was.
Not
there are
everything
plenty of
fish is
in
Christian.
the sea.
Oh, well,
never
kinda-
even
it
heard-
sounds
I've
Christian-y,
never
you
heard
know
of
what I
it.
mean? And I was
Yeah.
like, and he was like, oh yeah, I meet girls all the time, and I'm hook up. And I'm like, really, dude? On Plenty of Fish? And I didn't go into detail with him, but I was thinking, I thought that was like more Christians and like people like for
And
church
there are
kind of a thing.
regular
No,
girls
don't
that
be
just want to
deceived.
go have sex
Yeah.
at the drop of a hat like this. I
Wow.
mean, we've turned.
Well-
That's the society we've come into. That.
Well, I
that-
think are we regressing from? Are we falling back into the 70s? Kinda
So
like-
my opinion is that everybody that's on a dating site, whether it be Plenty of Fish, Tinder, whatever you want, everybody's looking for love. And I don't care if they say they're looking to hook up. They might be looking to hook up, but that's the girl they're not going to bring home. They're going to keep that girl on the side, and then they're still looking for the one they're going to fall in love with. So
even
no
at,
matter
even at these places,
and
ultimately,
that's-
no matter what they
connected.
say,
That's dysfunction. I mean, you're, but we're okay. So let me ask you a question. So if you want to meet somebody, like legitimately, can you meet them on these? I mean, I guess it's
Yes.
just more about you. I
She
guess,
said
as
she
a
had great
person.
dates
Yeah,
on
you had
Tinder.
great
Yeah.
dates.
So
Well-
that's what I was
yeah.
asking Christina. So what is your ultimate goal on Tinder? You said it was. You told me. You just said it. I like it because it's fun to
Swipe.
do. and
No, that's what a
swipe.
lot of people were doing, I think, and that's why I think the app says
But
keep
you
playing.
said
What
last
is
week
your
you're so
goal?
picky, and now you're
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
us you go on
So
Tinder.
I'll tell you what happened was I tried dating some friends after I called off a wedding, and I thought that those were the people I could probably take seriously, and they let me down as if I could have been a side girl, and I was thinking that's ridiculous that a longtime guy friend would do that. And so I thought, you know what? Fine. I overheard them talking about Tinder. I'm going to go on
I'm
it
going
and see what's
too,
out
yeah.
there too.
So you most
And
experimented.
because if they viewed the world as, hey, there's 50 other girls that I have a chance with, I don't want to be one of 50.
No, exactly.
Maybe I could have 50 other dates.
Exactly.
And I was never taking them home. I was just going to restaurants and thinking, well, maybe I should have a different outlook too and see maybe there's another guy for me.
Do you
and that
think
was it.
there?
And I kept it at
Do
a
you think
public
there are
place.
lots of? I'll quote say all of everyone in this room. I'll just assume is fairly normal and and whatever. There's not any freaks or weirdos here, but
Except for you, Paul.
Well,
We're going to be sending you pics later.
I can't wait. Can't wait. I've never gotten one. I've never gotten one in my life. It'd be a
Well,
thrill.
I'll send it to you.
No, please don't.
We'll fix it. Yeah. Forward
no.
that to Paul.
I will.
Listen, anybody listening right now, it's OC Talk Radio.
Send them in.
.net and
Oh,
you
my
look
God.
for Paul and send
Please
him.
don't.
I'll tell you.
No. Please,
it's a
please
weird,
do.
This was a weird thing that I did. I didn't do it to get
Oh my
back
God.
to anybody, but some of those guys bounced back to me.
They
I-
never go away.
I think that
They
they
do?
wanted
No.
to have it their way and have a lot of access to a lot of girls, and then when they saw that women still had their options with other guys,
They're attracted to that.
they're
Yes.
like, oh, I could lose her. She's now on a different date every single night.
Is that just
See
the
her with a
unattainable
different
girl?
guy.
You know?
No.
Yeah,
They
it's just
want-
a guy challenge thing.
It
Yeah,
is.
right.
It's if they smell another penis around, they're all over it. But if they're, if it's true.
If they smell
Competition,
another
I
penis,
guess.
We may
You
want to
want-
rephrase that. You meant
You know what
all
my
over
brother,
it.
my
You
brother
know.
says is,
what does
you
a penis
want what
smell
you
like? I
can't
don't even
have.
know.
Exactly what I'm
Yes,
trying
right.
to say. Yeah. So what it is it's a big game, and I don't care if you're 50. I don't care if you're 55. It's a game. So
I believe that.
in
I see
other
that.
words, if like Christina was saying,
But I
okay?
didn't even do it with the intent of it being a game.
It
I just
doesn't
tried to
ma- yeah,
expose myself to people.
Exactly.
your pardon?
But however, you have
Careful how you use
Not
that phrase.
Not, right.
no, you have to go about it in the correct way if you want to meet your ideal mate, right? So we're having a 90-day challenge on my website, and what I'm
Give the
challenging
website. Give
What
the
is your
website.
website? Yeah.
lindasdatelist.com.
Date list, not
Yeah.
date. It sounds like date less,
No,
like without a date.
Date list, like a list. Make a list.
LAST.
Linda's.
Date list.
So what's the
Linda's-
challenge?
Challenge is I'm going to challenge people to
send us a
send
picture.
send me an email of what their biggest problems are, what their biggest issues are, or obstacles that they're running into, and that's preventing them from meeting their ideal mate.
Okay.
Okay.
What if they don't know?
No, I know. They just have to tell me what they are, and I will walk them through it.
No, I'm saying, what if they don't know? I mean,
Is this
Well,
a
no,
challenge? Is this a challenge?
I can't find anybody.
What do
I
they
have
win?
no idea.
What do they win on this 90-day challenge?
They win their ideal mate.
Awesome.
I
Yes.
thought they got a date
And
with
I
you,
will
maybe.
walk
No.
them. I will walk them through it. So
Okay.
even if they don't know what their challenges are, I'll ask a few questions and I'll figure it out immediately, what their challenges are, and then I'll walk them through on a certain side, or maybe they're on two sides, and I will walk them through it. And there's
Normally, they're their own worst enemy.
That's what I was going to
It's
say.
Really what it comes
And
down
I
to.
would think they
True.
don't know what's standing in their way.
Absolutely.
I've been
It's
through a
true.
million things. I just don't get it. I'm a nice person. I think, why did I not meet anybody? And you're like, well, dude, come on. Look what you're sending pictures.
And
like
That's
this.
Linda's like a dating X-ray
you
machine.
wouldn't, you
Yeah.
wouldn't
I like
necessarily.
that.
I don't think that that's the kind of person you really want to be coming to your site 90-day challenge, right?
the person that doesn't know.
No, the person sending a penis pic.
No,
you don't want
def-
him, right?
No, I do want him.
You
because,
do? Okay.
Because you wanna fix these
So it's
obviously-
open to anybody. So you're just saying it's
Anyone.
anybody. It's clear game. You can, if you're a pervert, or if you, well,
Yeah.
we shouldn't say that because then we'll. Well, I'm
Well,
not
Paul's
saying-
here, so sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Because
If you got a problem,
No, I'm serious because you know what?
Come and help us.
I'll be serious in all seriousness here. We all want to find love. We
Yes.
all want to be happy. We all
Absolutely.
want to be, hopefully, like married or with your significant other, whatever that's marriage or just
a relationship. right?
relationship, right? And no, I think it's a good idea. So, how are you going to steer them in the right direction? I mean, like, talk to me. Give me the steps.
Okay, so the first thing I would ask them is, what dating site are you on?
Okay.
Number one. Number two is, what is your goal? What is
Okay.
your end goal? Are you looking for a marriage? Are you looking just to date? Are you looking just to hook up?
Okay.
Right? Nobody's going to tell me they're looking to hook up. I can tell you that right now.
They don't? I mean,
They
could-
might say it, but guess what? That's not what they mean. Everybody's looking for love. I don't care what you say on your profile.
in all the wrong places.
It's true. Everybody wants love. That is everybody's goal in life, is to be loved, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Sure.
so a lot of them are they're their own worst enemy, because they put out there, "Hey, I'm just looking for a girl with no baggage." No
Yeah,
baggage,
right, that's a
right?
big one.
Well, everybody has baggage. I don't care who you are.
Or the guy that says, "No drama. Don't bring drama
Oh,
into my
that's
life."
another
yeah.
one. No
That either
drama.
sounds like he is
Drama himself.
Yes, that
Right.
he's not impatient. He doesn't know how to deal with problems. He'll huff and puff and walk away.
He's his own worst enemy. See? So a lot of things you need to teach him is patience, what to look for. What are you really looking for? What kind of
Are
mate?
you asking me?
No. Well,
Oh,
if you
okay.
want, I can
Yeah.
ask you.
Oh, okay.
Steve,
Yeah,
what
let's
are
do
you
it right-
looking
let's do it
for?
on
Let's
air.
do a
I'll tell you-
makeover
you know what,
right now.
Right
tell you what,
now.
Steve Cederquist.
We got
No,
5 minutes
I'm
here.
good.
Let's figure it out.
No, I would look for someone who's got an amazing heart, an amazing, just a good person. We're compatible in regards to our what we want in our life and our goals in our you know what I mean. We're
And you want
equally
somebody
yoked.
with really big.
Well, equally
Goals.
yoked.
No,
That's,
I
that-
don't look at. You know what's weird is I look more at the inner I mean,
Really?
of course you look at looks,
Yeah,
but
come on.
looks fade. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and I'm I'm 57. I'm not I'm not a spring chicken here.
But you are a good-looking guy.
But I'm but I'm not. Well, I would never date anybody young. I don't know. I mean, it's a hard question. I mean, you want somebody who's going to be nice to you.
yeah.
Someone who's like compatible in regards to sexually compatible, mentally. I mean, just everything. I think.
What
what's
about
keeping
right?
you- what's
right? And I would ask you, okay, what if you're Republican, I assume,
I'm independent.
independent. So how would you feel about somebody dating somebody that has way far left extreme values?
An
Would that-
activist or something.
would
or
that
a
work with
vegan
you?
or something. Yeah, right. Let's pick
I
some.
don't. You know what? I don't.
Now be honest.
No, I am.
Because
I am.
mean, you're home. Let's say you're home and you're watching Fox News. She
Uh-huh.
comes home and she turns a channel to CNN. Okay,
Smart
you have
girl.
totally different views.
Here's the deal with that, and I'm going to be honest with this. Is this is why I'm independent, and it's because I don't vote on party lines ever, because I think that you can get brainwashed on either platform. You know what I mean? So I vote more on the things, and I'm open-minded. I try to be, I think some of them, more liberal mindsets are a little bit like too far, too far. I think middle of the road is kind of a good place to be, because you kind of get the flux of both. You like,
okay,
why do you think this is good? And I just think being open-minded is a lot better than being closed-minded.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you meet a wonderful woman. She's maybe a far left liberal, and she says, tonight, Steve, you and I are going down and we're going to protest. You got to put on a vagina suit. Now, would you be okay with that?
He does that every week.
He does that. That's nothing.
Well, no, I
does that
probably
for fun.
wouldn't do that. I think.
Okay, so.
But I don't think I don't think I would date somebody who would put me in that kind of position.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
You have
all right.
to meet somebody that thinks like you do. So if you're independent, you want to meet someone that's independent.
Yeah, I don't like people who judge. I'm not. I don't like people who are like that. I don't like people far extreme either which way.
So that's what I would tell you. I would say, look, you are not compatible with a woman that's going to go down and wear a vagina suit and watch Madonna say she's going to blow up the White House. Maybe the girl you're dating says, we're going, I got you your suit.
Is that actually something that happened?
Is there a vagina suit? Where do you buy these?
I mean, no, I'm serious.
Yes,
I've never seen.
I don't
watch a lot.
Oh,
okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I think that I don't watch a lot of news. I catch up on point things, and if they look interesting, I try to bring up. I try to see if the crazy guy in North Korea is going to push the button, or things like that. But all these other crazy things like wearing a vagina suit and running around. I just that would not be a story that I'd be interested in reading, or even why would I poison my mind to something like that?
But so I'm saying you meet a nice woman, you really like her, you're sexually compatible, and she comes home one day and says, I'm going to a rally, I got your vagina suit, and we're going down, and we're going to listen to Madonna and Ashley Judd, and to tell us how nasty we are.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
First of all,
yeah.
First of all, but here's the deal, I mean, first of all, I wouldn't let someone tell me what I'm going to do. They would ask me, and they could say, "Hey, dude, we're gonna go down and protest about the
Steve,
animal rights."
Steve, is this why you're single? You will not let a woman tell you what to do.
I think we've hit the real thing right there.
No, I mean, if it's but I think you're right. You're onto something. But if it's something I'm going to protest against, like animal rights or something, something I'm passionate about.
That's different, right? Okay, so because I know you, and I know what you like. So that's what I would say. You need to find someone that's passionate about animal rights and things like that, right? So I would say another biggie for me is, and I think it's a big mistake with a lot of people, is I'm a Christian. I won't date an atheist. Because that's an instant argument all day long, night and day, 24/7.
Do you know who Dane Cook is?
No.
Yeah, he's a comedian. You had to watch the one he talks about the atheist and about the whole thing about the tree. That's actually really funny. It talks about it, how the pages of the Bible. He goes on this whole thing. It's actually good. It's not mocking the Bible at all, but it's actually pretty funny. And it goes. It's kind of like the laugh in your face of the atheist guy. But
but seriously though.
Yeah,
but
interesting.
Let's just say that the lady does not put on her profile what religion she is or what her thinking.
I think we'd break up in the whole vagina suit thing. I think I'd be like, no, I think you're a little whacked out.
Fine, but then you go on another date. And
not with her.
No, this is a different woman, and you don't know that she's an atheist until you go out on a date, maybe. And then she
go to pray or something.
Right, and then she's an atheist. She's like, oh, no, you can't do that in front of me. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
Well, it doesn't take much to break up in the beginning. Any little thing will break. It's the old Seinfeld joke, any little.
I think those kind of things come up though now. I mean, maybe I'm just a little different, and I just don't those things normally come up in conversation instead of sending penis pics?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So maybe she does have atheist on her profile, and you're Christian or whatever you are, Protestant or whatever, and would you date someone because of that?
No, I'm a Christian too, but I would date a Jewish woman or I would date a Catholic woman. I wouldn't discriminate. I mean, if it was somebody.
What about a Muslim?
You know what?
If she had really big.
Well, you know what's weird is when I was younger, I dated a girl who was before. It's funny you say that because I dated a girl for a couple of years one time. We didn't, it never even came up. I mean, she did her thing with her family, and I did my thing with my family, and we never really thought about it because I didn't really at the time realize the difference. Because she would say, her parents would say, things like, "Oh, God is good," and and I didn't know. I mean,
Sounds
well,
good
I
to
was
me.
younger and I
Okay.
didn't know, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, cool, God's good, peace out, we're going out." And, I come to find out she was Muslim, and I don't know. I have a lot of good friends that are Muslims, and I don't.
So do I. I do too.
I think they're great people.
But what
They're
you're missing,
awesome
we got to
people.
wrap this up. What I'm missing out of this whole thing, I get
Yeah,
what you
okay.
do with people is, why do people know they have they know there's something's not working, but they don't know why. So they come to you trying to figure out the why.
This is going to be this 90. You've got my interest of it as 90-day challenge. I really want to see. I mean, I really want to come back to you with this and after 30
Hear about
days
it,
and
yeah.
hear about what the results are, right? I mean, and kind of see,
So what is it? You ask them what they're doing, and then you challenge them to stop those habits and start new habits?
No, they don't write to me and tell me what their issues are on why. I've been to online dating 5 years and I can't meet the right girl. Okay, so what are the issues or problems that you're running into, obstacles that's preventing you from doing that?
But what if they don't know? That's what I'm saying. They
Then
say, I don't know.
that's
See, I'm a nice guy.
There's plenty of
That's when-
symptoms.
Yeah.
That's when I
sometimes
ask the
there are
question.
girls
Yeah,
who
you
do
did.
not
You
give
brought-
feedback.
You brought up some
Or
questions that
people
I
are
never
just
really-
clueless.
You're right.
They don't know what
I like that.
they repeat the behavior over and over again, and yet they don't know they're doing
Well,
it. They don't get it.
If they're going to reach out, anybody listeners who are listening, if you're going to reach out, you got to be open-minded and you got to be honest. You can't be, if you really want to solve the problem and you really want to get, meet, like you're talking about,
Exactly.
Somebody, and you really want to,
Let's get
instead of
real.
beating your head against the wall, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Get real.
I mean, get real. Just be real.
Yeah.
Be transparent. Be real. And don't go to the steam room naked.
I guess not. That's the takeaway.
All right,
wow.
guys.
If I lived a sheltered life, none of this has ever happened to me. All right, go around the table and tell everybody how we can get in touch with everybody here. Let's start with Christina back there.
Hi, I'm Christina Ignatius. So you can Google me, ChristianaIgnatius.
And do you accept strange pictures or no? Probably.
No, I don't.
No.
All right. And Conrad?
I'm Conrad Bosmans with Vamo Media, but you can reach me through Linda's Date List. I'm her producer.
Okay. And Linda?
You can reach me at lindasdatelist.com. You can also email me at linda@lindasdatelist.com.
Okay. And Steve?
Okay, you can reach me a couple different platforms at
You're everywhere.
I know, SteveCederquistDesigns.com.
Spell it, because we always want to make sure they get was one letter I always want to misspell.
STEVE, Cederquist, CEDERQUIST, designs.com, or at steve.cederquist@gmail.com.
Okay, and I'm not going to give
And
my...
don't send me pictures. I do
Don't
not
send me
want
any
to see it. No.
pictures, please.
Don't send me.
Please don't
I
send
will
me
return them
pictures.
unopened.
All right. Well, I had no idea this is where we're going today here, but an interesting topic. So
Absolutely.
should we call it a wrap?
I wanted to sing. You guys didn't give me the opportunity to sing.
No, that's definitely a
I
wrap.
want to hear him sing. Yeah.
It's exciting and new.
Love boat, Craig.
Come on, everybody.